to the Bayou. We're going to talk a little LSU recruiting, and we know they had a big visit weekend, but we got to talk about quarterback Bo Bentley. Off the board, but not in the direction that LSU fans had hoped. This one was either going to be Oklahoma or LSU, and yesterday, Bo Bentley makes the announcement he is an Oklahoma Sooner. What's next for LSU recruiting at the quarterback position, Shea Dixon?
We'll see. I think Joe Sloan is going to have to pivot here, the OC, who this dates back, Josh, obviously, to when Bryce Underwood goes to the 11th hour with LSU and flips, and they don't sign a quarterback in the past cycle. And they got on Bo Bentley, who emerges as a top 5 quarterback, given a year ago was his first year starting. And look, that part of Texas is kind of OU country. He had said he had grown up an OU fan. And it was LSU, it was OU versus the field, and LSU sort of emerged as the one team left standing. And then he made those final 2 visits. And kind of the buzz, Josh, the feeling was the further he got away from that LSU visit and the OU visit, that things might become cyclical in a way. And he goes back to where kind of he started with OU as the leader, and ultimately OU lands him. So, look, we're coming off an Elite 11 where Max Torres just a couple of spots ago at the Oregon site hinted at a guy thereafter beyond Ryder Lyons that LSU's also in the mix for. So look for uncommitted guys that kind of they've been feeling out and talking with here in recent weeks in case Bo Bentley did go elsewhere. But it also remains, hey, do they play a long game here where, remember, from Diabell to other quarterbacks in this class, LSU had those guys on campus and ultimately they commit elsewhere. Could they pull off a flip? It's the NIL era. I think you hit a little Avon Barksdale, the Wire quote there, Josh. The game is the game. So we'll see what happens in the coming months. But I don't think we're going to find out anything by way of a commitment in the coming days as the Bo Bentley dust settles at quarterback.
All right. Now let's get to the controversy. On3's number 1 athlete weighs 285 pounds. That's not the controversy.
No controversy there. No controversy there.
The controversy is Lamar Brown, his on-again, off-again visit to LSU. I was going to ask you, did Lamar Brown make it in? But we have video confirmation that Lamar Brown made it to his LSU visit. Are the Tigers the team to beat here, Shea, regardless of all this nonsense?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it's nonsense to the degree of what is nonsensical for a 17-year-old 5-star recruit. Look, he put out coming out of College Station, which I've said all along, Texas A&M is the other team in the mix here, that he wasn't going to make the official visit. Well, to LSU, that was never going to happen. You're looking at photos from the weekend. I took that one right there of Lamar out there on the field at Friday Night Lights. There, he's hanging out with Mason Smith, who obviously played D-line at LSU and plays for in the NFL now, but is close with Lamar. They brought a lot of his former teammates back, Keelan Moses, guys like that played at U-High and obviously are on LSU's team now. So it was a red carpet weekend for he and his family. And this one's going to come down to LSU or A&M. I said that from the start, felt it from the start. I think his actions speak to it, while Miami, Texas, others have all been in the mix. But you saw there to lead off. He can play O-line, D-line, but he wants to play D-line. And right now LSU has a commitment from the other guy in that video, Richard Anderson, the number 1 defensive lineman on the On3 industry rankings coming out of Edna Carr. And LSU strategically put his official visit this weekend to be with Lamar. So if Lamar wants to play D-line, that is a hell of a 1-2 punch of 2 5-stars, which not often is Louisiana putting out 5-star D linemen maybe once every few cycles. To have a couple of them in one class is huge. And look, my On3 RPM is on LSU. It went on it early on. I haven't shifted it yet. And we've got a decision coming in July. So we'll find out in the next few weeks which way Lamar Brown ultimately goes. But yes, I think it is LSU versus A&M here.
Good to see all 3 of LSU's wide receiver commits on campus this weekend, headlined by 5-star Tristan Keys. What's been the theme of his visit weekend?
Look, the over-under, I don't know what it was set at, but there was, I think, some nervous moments there with, look, Tristan had made visits, official visits, whether it's Tennessee, A&M, Miami, all of these schools leading up to LSU. He had planned Alabama and Auburn. It looks like those might happen later on, but he comes to the LSU visit still committed. And Josh, you know how this works, but Tristan has been around LSU's campus, let's say, since 9th grade. And His coaches would always drive him in from Hattiesburg and all that. This was his mom's first chance to really have a full weekend at LSU, being around the coaches, being around the personnel side, getting a feel for kind of the college and environment Tristan would be going to. And I think based off everything that I've heard inside Tristan's camp and then here in Baton Rouge, they couldn't have asked for a better weekend. And if you want to talk NIL, you want to talk fit, you want to talk all of those things, I think every box was checked there. Now, nervous moments to come. He is the number one receiver and a 5-star for a reason, and you're not going to coast to signing day without everybody else trying to get him in the NIL era. I think LSU obviously understands that, but they got his final visit. Monday's a dead period. It lasts for, 2 months, Josh? So at this point, you feel better maybe than you did when he was going through all those visits of would he come into this visit still committed? He did. And as you noted, having him on campus with Jabari Mack and Kenny Darby, who Darby led the state in receiving a year ago, Jabari Mack coming out of Destrehan is a top 50 prospect. Both those guys are committed to LSU. And it's the second time in about 3 weeks that the three of them have been together on LSU's campus. And this weekend now you had all three of their moms together. So they spent a lot of time around each other. I think that tossing Booby Feaster, who was there over the weekend, tossing Jace Matthews, who they made a big splash with to move up the list on a midweek visit, official visit, that the goal, hold on to these 3 wide receiver commits, which can be argued as the best in the country, but can you add a fourth? And I think all eyes are on who that person might be if you can hold on to Tristan Keys and your 2 in-state receiver commits.
All right, let's leave it at this. LSU fans want to know, are you close to putting any new predictions in coming out of this weekend?
I always look at local guys first and foremost, and there were 2 kids on campus who are uncommitted still that are from Louisiana that have an offer, Des Ellis and Isaiah Washington. I'd probably be closer to Isaiah Washington. We've got him right on the cusp of a 4-star. He broke out on the track scene this spring, but a kid coming out of Haynesville who kind of a sleeper, then LSU offered, he blows up with offers, and then Des Ellis, who is juggling this idea of some schools want me to play quarterback, LSU likes me at corner. I do think that ultimately LSU can win out there for a kid from a small town like Winsboro, Louisiana, but then again, he's got options elsewhere, whether it's West Virginia or other programs that say, hey, look, you can play quarterback here. But those 2 I'm keeping a close watch on moving forward. And hey, look, we'll see what happens here with the quarterback movement and anything else. I'm not hesitant to put in a non-3 RPM or even up my confidence score on a guy like Lamar Brown, who I think had a really big weekend.
All right. Exciting weekend for LSU fans. Go check out the Bengal Tiger for more. Shay Dixon, appreciate you taking time out of this busy Sunday to come on the Inside Scoop.
The game is the game, Josh. Thanks for having me on.